Before I get started, I have 500 subscribers. There's 500 people who like me enough to want me to come to your subscription boxes and chat with you about books and writing, and that is awesome. And it's daunting and it's incredible, and I thank you so much. I have a video that I'm going to create as a thank you, and it's going to come a little bit later because this, I don't know, I guess I just didn't expect that there would be 500 of you guys. So, cheers to you. I'm so happy. Thank you. Thank you. Hi YouTube, Tamara here with some tea. Years ago when I first talked to my mom about NaNoWriMo and she asked me, do you get a prize? No. Do you get monetary compensation? No. Then what's the point? So I'm going to talk about some issues that maybe makes you wonder, why do NaNoWriMo? Maybe you're on the fence, or maybe you want to talk to people about why you're doing it, but you're not really sure, or maybe you want to see someone else's perspective. So here I am to talk to you about that today. If you think of NaNoWriMo as a contest, then it does seem like it's just a really pointless thing, right? I think of it as a challenge to myself. There's really no one else that you're competing with. It doesn't matter if any of my friends make more words happen in November or not than me. It has no bearing on what I do, unless I'm doing some type of word war or word sprint or something and I just want to beat them at how many words we can write in 20 minutes. But that's different. That's more of encouragement to actually write some words that day. But why do it? Why put yourself through that stress? Couldn't you just write your novel in a year or 2 or 3 or however long it takes? Why do you need to join a community? I think that different people have different answers. So, for instance, Maya Good, she can tell you in her video about her writing community and how it helps her, and how writing community could help you too. And NaNoWriMo has kind of a built-in writing community. There's people internationally doing the same type of thing all month long, and that's very powerful. And you can tap into it easily. Maybe one issue you're having is that you don't really have an idea, and the thought of sitting down in front of your laptop or your notebook and a blank page is frightening. You still have a few days to think of something. Our guest gives us some tips on how to generate ideas in her video. There's the thought that you, by the age of 6, have enough stories that you could write for the rest of your life. I don't know if I fully believe that, but I do believe that there is a story inside of all of us, and it's just a matter of tapping into it. Maybe you feel like a 50,000 word goal is totally insurmountable and you won't be able to do it. I would argue, one, that you don't know until you try, which sounds silly and so very basic, but it's true. Don't think of it as the huge 50K. Think of it as the increments of 1,667 words a day. That makes it a little bit more feasible and a little less scary. And you might find that you're able to reach that goal a lot easier than you first thought. Rebecca from WhyMermaids argues that regardless of how many words you write, that you're winning. Check out her video to see more about that. And I agree with her. I'm sure that you've read articles and you've seen people talk about how they think that NaNoWriMo encourages sloppy writing and that is a detriment to literature. National Novel Writing Month has kind of given us permission to write with reckless abandonment, to put a pen to paper, and to not hold ourselves back, to let our imaginations fly free. That's powerful. The problem has been when people have written their 50K or 60K or however many, were a little too excited and decided, okay, I'll self-publish this, or okay, I'll send this to a literary agent or to a publishing house or what have you. That's where the issue comes in, because your copy isn't ready. It needs to be edited. It needs to be fine-tuned. If I spent 3 years on outlining and writing a novel, once that first draft is done, I would still need to go over it. I'm gonna dare to say that there's probably not an author that you've read or that I've read that has written their first draft and it's been perfect and they haven't had to do any type of rewrites or editing and it's ready to go. That's not feasible because we're not perfect. Even writers. I know, it's shocking. But National Novel Writing Month is a time to let yourself make those mistakes and then go back later and edit them. Maybe NaNoWriMo just seems too scary, too much. Or you're afraid that you're gonna crash and burn, that you'll start super excited and then you'll just fizzle out before November 30th. Alexandra from WordsMaiden talked to us this month about how you can keep yourself motivated and how you can stop yourself from feeling overwhelmed. I personally think that NaNoWriMo is an excellent challenge. I love the community that has kind of formed around this whole idea. Writing is such a lonely task most of the time that it just feels good to be surrounded by people who have your same goal. And I think that by participating in NaNoWriMo, it helps me to be a better writer. For 30 days, I stopped being so critical of my work and I let it happen. If you're someone who's tried NaNoWriMo and you've decided that's not for you, then it's totally cool. That's fine. I'm not saying that you have to do it. If it sounds like it's something that wouldn't work with your work ethic or how you like to write, then I totally respect that. I would say that developing a writing habit is something that's pretty important for a writer, especially if you want to be a professional writer. It takes about 30 days for you to develop a habit, and just so happens that NaNoWriMo is a 30-day long challenge. By the end of it, you may have developed a writing habit where you get up every day and pound out almost 2,000 words. That'll definitely help you in the long run when you're editing this thing and maybe going on to the next thing and writing it, or doing your rewrites or what have you. For there to be a beginning, you have to reach an end. In order to have that first book, you have to complete that first draft. And 50,000 words is a pretty decent start. So let me know in the comments, why are you doing NaNoWriMo? Or why have you chosen not to do it this year? I'm really interested in hearing your thoughts. The videos that I mentioned in this video are on the project #WriteTube playlist. I love this project and I'm super sad that it's going to be coming to a close, and I really hope that you check it out, and I hope that you feel as inspired and as excited as I have while watching these videos. These women did an amazing job and they cover a gambit of topics about writing in general and NaNoWriMo in specific. And again, check it out and share it and use that #WriteTube. tomorrow I'll be posting my RightTube wrap up, the last one. Oh, you guys. One more thing. Yesterday I interviewed Len Lawson. He is a poet and he's a teacher, and he's using his poetry to educate. We had such a great conversation, and I really would love for y'all to check it out. I'll link that as well. So come down and chat with me in the comments.